Hello there, I'm Chris Cashman, a small business owner just like you, and happy to be here at the world's largest small business online summit inside a small media player. We know it's confusing, but this is the biggest. We're all over the world right now and live on the web. And have you ever wanted to create a simple marketing campaign for your small business, but you just didn't have the tools to do it? You didn't have know-how. Well, the tools are here. With Microsoft Office 2007, you can easily design a professional-looking flyer and send it to your customer list with just one click of the mouse. We can all do that. And to tell us more about what Office 2007 can do for your small business, Microsoft Business Development Manager Brian Kane. Welcome, sir. How are you?
It's a pleasure to see you again.
Yeah, thank you for being here. Now, marketing, sales is hugely important, but often very difficult for small business people. Why do you think that is, other than the obvious intimidation factor, the unknown?
Well, as you can see from the graphic of the homepage, you have a small business owner wearing many hats.
Right.
And oftentimes one person or a couple people are your PR department, your marketing department, your financial department,
Right.
your human resource department. And as John mentioned, a lot of marketing strategy can seem very unintuitive. And I really want to today emphasize his point of differentiation and how Office 2007 can help you there. So the way you present yourself to customers is obviously critical.
Right.
And every opportunity you have to present yourself professionally, you should take advantage of. If you own a retail store, that could be smiling when someone comes in the door. That could be the way you dress when you go to a sales call, but also the quality of your marketing collaterals, your flyers, your brochures, your emails. And that's really what I want to focus on today.
Okay, now you talk about, yeah, obviously small business folks, the theme we're calling it is wearing a lot of hats. You often play many roles. I always joke about at home that my wife is the CFO and risk management and all of the above, and I had to convince her that upgrading to Office 07 was a good deal for us, but you'd be better at helping explain why. Why should folks out there, they say, hey, look, my business is in motion, things are happening, I may not be the biggest, the most successful, but I think I know what I'm doing. This is the ultimate explanation. Why? Why is this such a benefit to upgrade? What are the perks?
Well, actually, let me show you some video, and I'll explain to you why as we go over.
A demo. You can demonstrate
a demo,
to us.
absolutely.
That helps.
And let me start off with the program that many of us are very familiar with, and that's Word.
Okay.
And the ability in Word to now take a very average-looking document and make it very professional. And I think as we go through this, I'll be able to speak to a lot of the value of it.
Very cool. Okay.
And I'm starting off, I have a basic header here, and you'll notice that as I hover over, I'm given a real-time preview of different modifications I can make to the text right on the screen. The color, the size, and I particularly like this, the font. I no longer have to guess what the font will look like from the font preview you see in the menu.
Sure.
Now you can just hover over and see that preview directly in front of you.
That is handy.
This is very important in that we're not only creating something that looks exactly the way we want, but we're doing it very quickly.
I always joke about, how seemingly, simple a font can be, and yet how effective it can be in the presentation of your piece. The Comic Sans, that says you got a little attitude, maybe a little humor involved, and there's some of the more traditional fonts. So that's great because you can see it in context. Like you say, you don't have to see just one word written out.
Absolutely. A very playful font you referenced.
Helvetica in Helvetica isn't that exciting to look at on the screens. What are we looking at here?
I completely agree. So what we're doing here is we're just converting this basic text into a more pleasurable visual representation of it. In this case, using SmartArt, but you could also use WordArt, just insert a shape and then add text to it. You can go a variety of different paths here. And one thing I want to point out as we're looking at this, whenever you're working on particular tools, new tabs open across on the top that are particular to that particular tool. So in this case, we're making modifications to this SmartArt, and you can see that we're given a variety of options to changing the format specific to this SmartArt.
Wow. So it's really walking us through the steps. We're just pointing and clicking at this point.
Absolutely. And one thing we noticed in the previous version of Office was that over 80% of the recommendations were for product features that already existed. So as you can see here, we're able to leverage some really powerful tools in a way that's very easy to the end user. In this case, as soon as we double-click on a table, we're now given all these different table formatting options. So we can scroll through these different options you see on the screen and then choose from some different color combinations.
Those are all templates that are set. We just pick the one that looks pretty to us.
Absolutely. And in this case, I think we're going with the red color scheme. So we're going to select a red formatting option here.
Very cool. So all of these things are just simple, user-friendly things that are just really legitimizing a simple newsletter, something simple that we're going to send out. And ultimately, these things can be saved as PDFs and just sent right out like that. We don't have to run it through different things and add all sorts of stuff. So that's one of the big benefits, is this just can be saved as a PDF and sent out, correct?
Absolutely, and that's so important because the PDFs become the one-to-many format of choice. So that if you want to post this on your Office Live website or you want to send it out in a marketing campaign, it's very important, and the ability to just go File, or I'm sorry, Office button, Save As, and choose PDF is very important. And you can also do that with PowerPoint, with Excel, and a variety of other Office applications.
So what do we do once we create this fancy looking flyer? I've announced that I'm going to be here with the Microsoft Small Business Summit. This is a big deal. What do I do with it? How do I get it out to the potential eyeballs, customers, you name it?
Yeah, and from a marketing perspective, that question is far more important because at the end of the day, it's all about establishing and maintaining relationships with prospective and current customers. So we could initiate a mail merge directly from Word and send it out to people. However, I want to roll a quick demonstration of how we can use Office with Business Contact Manager to send out a marketing campaign.
Wow, okay.
As you can see here, I'm just going to the Business Contact.
And break that down if somebody's not familiar. Business Contact Manager.
It is a tool that allows you to organize and leverage all your contact information. So what we're doing here is we're initiating a marketing campaign. You could also track all the communications you have with your customer. You could also manage some project management. A really powerful tool. And so what I'm doing here is I'm creating a marketing campaign for that document we just created. And I'm attaching the PDF that we saved as.
Okay.
And now I'll be able to send that out. And I can customize who this is sent to, and then I'm also able to track, so I can see who responded to this advertisement and how effective it is. Because whatever you do, you need to do it with purpose, and this way you can determine what's working and what's not working.
So you can actually track it then?
Absolutely.
Keep a track. And the contact, obviously the Business Contact Manager sort of says it all, but it's much more sophisticated than just the name allows you. Now you've got able to track, you've got files, you know who you send stuff to, you've got tracked records. So again, we're getting into that, focusing on your audience and making sure to follow up with them. That sounds pretty cool.
Absolutely. And one point I want to emphasize there is the typical user starts their day by opening up Outlook and ends their day by closing Outlook.
Right.
So here you're able to leverage all the mail and tasks and calendars, as well as all this other functionality that we just showed you.
So what's one takeaway you would want somebody that's saying, okay, that sounds good. Yeah, obviously more professional, more bells, more whistles, that's great. What's the one thing you would want somebody to know if they're right on that teeter? Should I make the jump? Should I upgrade to 07? Should I do that? Why should they do that?
And I think the answer is it's a question of perspective. So when someone's evaluating whether to do business with you, whether they're a customer, a potential partner, they're going to be evaluating you based on how quality of a product you and your business is. And if you're able to present yourself as professionally as possible, people will want to associate with your brand much more than they would if you were not.
Once again, putting that legitimate face. You are what you present yourself to be to everybody. So, very cool. Thank you so much, Brian. Appreciate it, man.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you so much for taking the time to demonstrate that for us and how we can design a great flyer, piece of cake, send it out, PDF, using the tools from Office 2007. And for more information about Office 2007, just go to our website, Microsoft.com/smallbusiness. Well done. Well done.